Folks, if I sound a little frustrated, that's because I am, because I just can't believe here we go again. I mean, it is just incredible. One thing, and it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we were going to have a total repeat of the Obama administration, which is what we've had. I don't think, unlike Hillary Clinton would have been, I don't think Biden has it in him to be any more radical than Obama was. But, he is just a puppet. So whoever's pulling his strings, we will find out just how radical they want to get. And apparently they believe that this is so many things that the president has done is going to save the economy. Look, there will be a moment in time, and let's not forget this, and we ought to keep this in front of us a bit. There will be a moment in time, maybe in the somewhat near future, where the corporate America world will wake up. Remember, let's not believe for a second that the dysfunction in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill is an isolated case of dysfunction. And surely corporate leaders are perfectly functionable and doing a great job. That would be comical at best. So we have the same dysfunction due to the lack of common sense and the incredible overflowing of an ideological slant that forbids them or keeps them from seeing anything to the right, to the left, anything but straight ahead. And what is straight ahead of them are the talking points from the left. Now, they don't have, or don't possess, I should say, the abilities to analytically think through anything that they're saying. They don't have the will. They don't have the will to actually dig in to think for one moment if this particular ideological slant that they are taking is going to impact our company in a negative way at all. They don't have the abilities to think like that. They are totally void of any kind of intellect that would allow them to think about unintended consequences any further out than probably Friday of this week. That's probably about as far out as they can go because of these blinders that they all seem to wear proudly. We have the same exact cause for the effect, which the effect is dysfunction in Washington as we have in corporate America that causes lack of leadership. Lack of leadership. I would go a step further and say it would appear that it is an inability to have leadership. Why do I say it appears is that's how it is? Because surely, if they had the ability to lead, surely they would have the desires instilled in them from their board and from their business operations to want to exceed for their employees and for their board members and their stockholders. But apparently, that would mean that there has to be some sense of unintended consequences for what it is you are doing. If you are going down a road full of potholes and pits, one would have to have the ability to assume that you are going to get a flat tire, that you are going to knock your car out of alignment. Something is going to happen as you drive miles down the road full of potholes. They don't understand that. To them, it's just a little bit of a bumpy road. They can't see the unintended consequence of deciding to take that road as opposed to the smooth road over there to the right of them. They don't have that ability. Now, before you write me and tell me that I can't make that kind of generalization and I can't stereotype all corporate leaders, I just did, okay, in your mind. Though it is flowing with a lot of sarcasm and a lot of hyperbole, the statements that I just made, some of you that are going to right now emailing me, have decided that I was talking about every single corporate leader in the world. Just like when I say there's this function on Capitol Hill that you believe that I'm talking about all 535 members. That would be saying to God, you didn't even leave a remnant when I know that he did. Okay, so we have a remnant. Do we have a remnant in corporate America? Of course we do. I get that. I understand that. But there are some that would argue that the remnant that I say is existing on Capitol Hill or in corporate America is only a remnant because they are the few that are leaning right. They are the few that actually have a value system, that are conservative in their value system, that understand that there's a moral compass in the world. And you would say because of that, you say there's a remnant. No, there's a remnant as a result of that, yes. But that's not what I am saying. I'm saying, of course, there are still some right-minded, right-thinking corporate leaders, as well as some right-minded, right-thinking politicians. Both are becoming fewer and fewer. That's sad. Ought to be concerning. And it is. We have battles to fight. I hope you will join me Friday morning. Go to resource tab on the website. I hope you'll join me Friday morning with the people that join me every Friday morning for our Bible study. I will speak to this, not from me, but from the Word. But it's irrelevant if you don't believe, of course. I'm not going to argue or concern myself with people that say, oh, that's a bunch of hogwash. Well, that's a beautiful thing for you. Because if it's a bunch of hogwash, you are totally free to believe anything you want. Why would I argue or discuss with someone that is totally free to twist the facts, to change the truth, that doesn't live with moral values or a value system at all for that matter, that can't be bothered with a moral compass? If you have a moral compass, then a compass is something in which you might be measured by. You don't want to be measured. You don't want to believe that there could possibly be absolutes, that there is absolutely a wrong, or there is absolutely a right, even though you believe there's absolutely no absolutes. But that's different. the moral depravity of the world and of America and of the education system, of the financial system, of the corporate governance system, of Capitol Hill's systems are going to hell in a handbasket. Make no mistake about it. The only thing that's going to change that is that we continually, decisively, fervently pray that God will raise up the leaders for a time such as this. We can pray that God will come down and preach on Times Square and lead people to the source of values and morals. We can pray that. And I would submit to you that a lot of you and millions of others are praying for just that. But I would pray that if we are going to ever have another reformation, if we're ever going to have an illumination, a revival, because I'm trying to find a revival that we've had in history that wasn't induced and fortified and persistently pursued by a few men. Oh, during the Old Testament times, there were revivals that came directly from a pillar of fire. Not happening today. We need to be praying fervently that God would raise those people up, and that people would have the ears and the hearts to hear and to see, to be open, to be changed, that they may have eternal life and not be dead to their depravity.